They will kill you. Movie review. A woman takes a job in a strange hotel and finds out she is meant to die there that same night. What follows looks like pure chaos at first. The strange part is that the chaos is not what stays with you. The film opens with a simple setup that works right away. A woman on the run lands a job at a hotel that feels wrong from the moment she walks in. The place has that uneasy energy where nothing is said directly, yet everything feels staged. Before long, the truth comes out. The hotel is tied to a cult, and the night is already planned. She is not an employee. She is the sacrifice. That is where the movie hooks you. It does not take long to reach that point, and that choice helps. There is no long wait. Things start moving early, and the first action sequence comes in sooner than expected. At that moment, it feels like the film understands its own premise. You settle in thinking this will be a tight, intense ride from start to finish. The early action carries that promise. The fights are energetic. The camera keeps things clear enough to follow. There is a sense of urgency as she moves through the building, trying to stay ahead of people who know the place far better than she does. Those first sequences have a certain pull. You are watching to see how she gets out of the next situation, not just what happens next. There is also a brief moment where you start to believe she might actually outthink them, not just outrun them, and that adds a bit of tension that the film could have leaned into more. That momentum does not hold as the film moves forward. The action continues, but it starts to repeat itself. The tools change from one scene to the next. A shotgun here, an axe there, then a blade. The pattern stays the same. She faces someone, she takes them down, then she moves to the next space. The first time, it feels sharp. After a few rounds, it feels familiar. The problem is not the violence itself, it is the lack of variation in how those moments are built and resolved. There are moments where the film tries to add something extra. One sequence uses fire in a way that brightens the room as the fight unfolds. It stands out because it breaks the pattern for a short time. Those touches show what the film could have done more often. They come in small doses, and they do not last long enough to reshape the overall rhythm. You start wishing the film had pushed further in that direction instead of returning to the same structure again and again. The influence behind the action is easy to notice. The film leans toward the style of a lone fighter moving through waves of enemies. It brings to mind films that balance violence with a sense of design. The difference here is in the execution. The reference is clear, yet the film does not build on it. It stays close to the surface and never grows into something that feels fully its own. The shift between action and quiet moments becomes another issue. The film slows down after each burst of movement, which is expected. The problem is how those slower scenes are handled. They do not deepen the story or build tension. They feel like pauses that break the flow instead of shaping it. Each return to action has to rebuild the energy that should have been carried forward. Over time, that stop-and-start pattern begins to wear down the experience. The acting adds to that uneven feeling. Performances come across as forced at times, as if the tone has not been fully decided. Some scenes feel like they aim for seriousness. Others lean toward something lighter, almost playful. That mix could have worked if it had stayed consistent. Here, it creates distance. You watch what is happening, yet it does not fully draw you in. The story itself remains simple, which is not a problem on its own. A confined setting with a clear goal often works well. The issue lies in how little is done with the characters. You do not learn enough about them to feel connected. The moments that try to add weight arrive without the groundwork needed to support them. As a result, they pass without leaving much behind. Even when the film hints at something deeper, it moves on too quickly to let that idea settle. Technical details also stand out in ways they should not. Some lines feel out of sync with what is shown on screen. It is the kind of thing that pulls your attention away from the scene. Once you notice it, it becomes harder to ignore. Instead of staying inside the moment, you start focusing on the flaw. The tone continues to shift as the film goes on. There are parts that seem aware of their own absurdity, almost inviting you to enjoy the ride without thinking too much. Then the film turns towards seriousness again, asking you to care about events that have not been built with enough care. That back and forth weakens both sides. The lighter moments lose their edge, and the serious ones do not land. The idea at the center remains strong throughout. A woman trapped in a place designed to kill her should carry tension tension on its own. The film reaches that tension at times, mostly in the early stretch. It does not maintain it. The repetition in action, the uneven pacing, and the lack of character depth slowly take away what made the setup interesting. By the end, the film feels longer than it is. 90 minutes should move quickly with a concept like this. Here, the time becomes noticeable. The sense of urgency that defined the opening fades, and the final stretch does not recover it. The experience leaves you with mixed thoughts. There is enjoyment in parts of it. The action is not without merit, and there are flashes where the film shows what it could have been. Those flashes never come together into a complete whole. Watching it at home makes more sense than seeking it out as a main event. It works better as something you put on without expecting too much, where the stronger moments can still be appreciated without the weight of expectation. The film reminds you of something simple. A strong idea needs steady direction to carry it through. Without that, even the most promising setup can lose its shape before it reaches the end. The film starts with a clear idea and early energy, yet it cannot hold that line for long. What remains is a mix of entertaining moments and missed chances. If you have seen it, share what worked for you and what did not. There is always something worth discussing. If you want more reviews like this, stay with the channel and check out the next video.